just the 4th team to win each of their first 2 games of the NCAA tournament by 45 or more. As this Sweet 16 matchup is underway, Tennessee controls the tip. Here's Jackson, a deep catch inside, couldn't finish it, got it back, lost it, and it's controlled by Virginia Tech.
That's one of the areas, Rickea Jackson, if she has a smaller defender on her, she can post them up. A bigger defender, she can blow right by. Keep an eye on her matchup throughout this game.
Taking a look at our Capital One starting lineups. Kayla King, Kayana Traylor, threats from 3 in that starting 5. There's Horston, brings it up the floor for Tennessee. Tess Darby has really been shooting it well for the Lady Vols, and right on cue, got an attempt there, a bit too strong. Taylor Soule battling for it, and that's what she does.
You're getting a taste of what Taylor Soule brings because it was an elite box out, and then her effort has been outstanding.
A trip there on Jordan Walker, and a foul against Tennessee. Taylor Soule, a transfer from Boston College. Struggled out of the gates this season, then had a big-time meeting, we'll call it, with Kenny Brooks.
It's okay to say it was a come-to-Jesus meeting. That's what he called it.
That's a term we're allowed to use.
That's what he called it.
Well, that's what he called it. And since then, she has been instrumental for Virginia Tech, a team that has won 13 straight games, and as you saw moments ago, set all kinds of program records. Moore fires and hits from 3. There is Georgia Amoore, the Australian gunner. Horston methodical, couldn't finish it. Jackson got a paw on it, but out of bounds to Virginia Tech.
That was really good defense by Taylor Soule on that last possession, and Georgia Amoore here just seeking out the basketball. How quickly she gets her feet set to launch that 3.
Grew up playing Australian rules football. That layup is good. Kayana Traylor on the finish.
That's the ingredients for Virginia Tech on the offensive end. The big inside, the 3-point shooters on the perimeter, the drivers and Traylor and Soule.
Horston, no. Rebound secured by Traylor. Virginia Tech won the first meeting between these teams earlier this season, December 4th, but very different rosters. Tennessee was missing several key pieces, including Rickea Jackson.
And had Tamari Key.
Soule got inside, couldn't finish it. Kitley looking to clean it up. She does. A 7-0 start for Virginia Tech.
And important to note, in that matchup, Tamari Key was outstanding defensively on Liz Kitley. In this matchup, Tennessee does not have the same size to go against Kitley.
Tamari Key out for the season, dealing with blood clots in her lungs. Has announced that she'll return next season to the Lady Vols. Rickea Jackson also going to return next season, even though she certainly could have been a lottery pick in the WNBA. Jordan Horston still undecided for Tennessee. Here's Kitley, great position and the easy finish. A 9-0 start for Virginia Tech.
Caroline Strickland at 6'3" just does not have the same size to defend Kitley one-on-one that Tamari Key did in that matchup.
An 0 for 5 from the floor start for Tennessee. Walker hits the jumper. Interested to see how Tennessee handles this, Rebecca, with the way they thumped in their first 2 tournament games. A little early adversity against Virginia Tech. King moves it. Amoore gets it to Kitley off a deflection. Kitley putting it down in traffic, had to take it. Horston there. Horston spins, dishes, open 3, off the mark for Strickland.
Drea talked about it. It's going to be so important for Tennessee to make those wide open looks. It'll help give better driving lanes for both Horston and Rickea Jackson as the game goes on.
And Tennessee is 0 for 4 thus far from 3. Amoore, not that time. Knocked out of bounds by Darby. It's going to stay right here with Virginia Tech.
Guys, when we talked to Elizabeth Kitley about the first matchup, she said Tennessee can't set the tone with their physicality. And you see a physical steal, holding her position, quick turn, and finish on the inside. Elizabeth Kitley being physical.
And not only on the offensive end, Drea, but defensively as well. Virginia Tech has been good in terms of being the more physical team so far.
Jasmine Powell into the game for Tennessee. That layup short. Jillian Hollingshed in as well for Tennessee.
Hollingshed brings more size.
Deflected out of bounds, and it's right back to Virginia Tech.
You've got to wait for your teammates' eyes to be looking at you before you make the pass.
Sarah Puckett in off the bench as well for Tennessee, so 3 subs. Rukia Jackson to the bench for the Lady Vols. Amoore sets a screen underneath for Kitley, but she couldn't quite get free, and the pass goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Virginia Tech trying to force it inside, but before the turnover, it was a possession that's typical of how they play. Switching sides of the floor, everybody getting a touch, setting screens for one another.
3 turnovers in the early going for Virginia Tech. A trip to the Elite Eight on the line. A meeting with Ohio State, who knocked off UConn earlier today here in Seattle. Hollingshed hits the jumper. Her offensive game has started to blossom later in this season as well.
Yeah, it certainly has. The 6'5" sophomore. She has a bright, bright future.
Number 37 recruit last year, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Amoore. That is her first personal. One of the things Kenny Brooks talks about is Georgia Amoore just has that it factor. All ACC first team this season. Had the program's first triple-double in December. Comes up with an impressive rebound there. Here is Amoore bouncing, and the finish from Traylor.
What an incredible rebound by Georgia Amoore, and then pushing the other way.
11-4 Virginia Tech lead. Horston, no. Puckett, yes. On the follow. Face-up jumper, back iron, no for Deasia Gregg, yes.
She has to
Gets the roll.
She has to be able to make that shot, because as soon as she caught it, her defender was in the lap of Liz Kitley. If you want to give Kitley space, you got to be able to hit from the free throw line.
Deasia Gregg off the bench, and what is a tight rotation for Kenny Brooks' team. Hollingshed, not that time. Knocked out of bounds by Kitley, and it will be Tennessee basketball.
Georgia Amoore is 5'6", but that doesn't mean the little girl can't sky and then push the ball the other way. Not a little girl, a big woman. We see you, Amoore.
A strong start for Georgia Amoore, who, when she first got to the U.S., said her shot was awful. Not anymore, Holly Rowe.
Well, that's right. When Kenny Brooks recruited her, his staff made him go all the way to Belarus to see her play in person. He said it was an awful trip. But when I saw her play for the first time, I said to myself, this kid is it, and I can make her special. This is how he's made her special, with hundreds of hours of one-on-one things, one-on-one instruction. And he said, you know, it gives me chills. I saw this video of us working together, and she looks like a mirror image of me. That's what she does on the court, and it is individual personal development from the head coach that has made Georgia Amoore who she is.
He called her his mini-me.
And you could see it there in that initial shot, working on the step back. That's what's so incredible about her step back, too, Rebecca. We were talking to her about it, the way she creates space. There's almost a violent hop to it. She said, look at my size. That's the only way I can get shots off. Why it was so important for her to master that footwork. In the corner here, catching fire for King. That's what Kayla King does. 90% of her career-made field goals have come from 3. Here's Hollingshed, great ball fake, lays it in, through some contact as well from Kitley. Reset the Tennessee lineup for you. Powell Jackson, Hollingshed, Horston, and Puckett are the 5 as Hollingshed nearly comes up with a steal, bangs into our table. Back into the play, King, short. Kitley, the offensive rebound, surrounded by 3 Tennessee players. You're right after the reverb of that table shoot?
Yeah, Jillian Hollingshed doesn't know that the NCAA makes us use cups that are open at the top, and we can't afford spillage on our table.
We cannot afford spillage. We spent a lot of time on these notes. Catch, fire, in and out on Puckett's 3.
What a box out by Deasia Gregg. She was face boxing out Rakia Jackson, knowing how important it is to get to the glass. Both of these coaches emphasized how important rebounding was going to be to the outcome of this game.
Well, Virginia Tech a +7 on the glass right now. Kitley hands it off. King fires. Not that time. Powell on the rebound for Tennessee. Puckett into Hollingshed. Hollingshed looking for an angle. Can't find one. Jackson yet to get going for Tennessee. She could fill it up in a hurry, though, when she does. Powell, the shake, the flip. No, Horston went soaring in. Bodies hit the floor. Tennessee retains possession. Jackson connects on a 3. First of the game after Tennessee missed its first 6 attempts.
Nice patience as well by Rakia Jackson because she hadn't gotten many looks. Took her time on that one.
Averaging 15 points on 50% shooting in the tournament thus far. Kitley, the deep catch and finish.
Great patience because on the switch, Kitley had a little on her, and Virginia Tech took their time and got the great pass to her.
Jackson uses the screen from Hollingshed. Can't hit that time. Kitley the box out. Covers up and finds a guard. Here's Amoore. Oh, nice setup. Trailer. No. Puckett the rebound for Tennessee. 12th meeting all time between these teams. Tennessee leads the series 8-3, but Virginia Tech has taken 3 of the last 4 meetings as Jackson swivels it in, plus the foul.
So we've seen both things that Rakia Jackson can do. She steps out, hits a 3, and then when she has the 6-foot defender on her, posts her up on the block and takes advantage. She's got a good face-up game. She's outstanding off the bounce, and there she's showing what she can do in the post.
We talked about how Rakia Jackson decided that she's going to stay at Tennessee an additional year. And Rebecca, I thought it was so interesting the way she broke it down. She said, look, when you go to the WNBA, it is so hard to stay on a roster. I want to make sure I've done everything I can to improve my game. Talked about tightening her handle, getting more consistent with the 3-point shot, knowing she's going to need those things in order to stick at the WNBA level.
Real maturity and self-awareness.
Gregg off on a 3. Rebound is saved right to King, who's fouled. And free throws coming for Kayla King. Well, for the 3rd straight year, every NCAA women's basketball championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. All games are on the ESPN networks and the ESPN app.
We don't call it the family of networks. I prefer when it's the family of networks.
We can.
It's a little more loving and inclusive.
We can call it the family of networks.
Even though that's not what it says on the promo. I'm going to call it the family of networks.
I like to Ron Burgundy the promos and just read what's in front of me. So you'll have to get in there and actually mess with the script.
All right.
Both free throws missed. 3 seconds left. Jackson connects. No, it will not count.
Why?
As funny, Rebecca, it was so loud in here, could not hear the whistle. Did they call a 3-second violation? I think they may have. The half-court heave is short. That's how the first quarter will end. Virginia Tech, an 18-13 lead on Tennessee. We will hear from Lady Vols head coach Kelly Harper, a 3-time champion as a player, looking to lead her team to the Elite 8.
Well, Coach, Virginia Tech is so good inside and outside. What's your defensive focus right now?
Well, we got to be more focused. That's just it. We're making some mental mistakes defensively. You don't want to give up easy touches in the paint, but you've got to cover out too.
Rickea Jackson has come alive for you in the last few minutes. How can she impact this first quarter?
Well, offensively on the other end, we've got to get the ball to the paint. We're settling right now. She was able to knock down a jumper or two. And then we got to get off on the boards. If we're going to shoot those outside shots, we got to do a better job crashing the boards.
Thanks, Coach.
Holly, Kelly, let's check in with Drea.
Well, exactly what Kelly Harper was talking about is what Virginia Tech was able to do that first quarter. Attack the paint, win the rebounding battle, and have focus. And if you notice, they completely clear out the baseline for Elizabeth Kitley to work. That doesn't happen magically. It happens from player movement. Kitley has attacked the offensive rebounding as well. And then if you watch this play, it's the switch that ends up leading to Elizabeth Kitley having the mismatch on the inside. Those things don't just happen, Rebecca. They happen from player movement and playing with great spacing. Virginia Tech's been able to do that.
And you look at Virginia Tech's career records when it comes to Elizabeth Kitley, who is 1 point away from the 2,000th of her career. A two-time ACC Player of the Year. Kitley 3 for 3 in the paint thus far. Started the second quarter, a trip to the Elite Eight on the line here in Seattle to meet Ohio State, who beat UConn earlier today on this floor, as Amoore gets free and Kitley finds her.
Amoore got Kitley open by setting the screen, and then Kitley wisely sees that two defenders go to her and makes the easy pass inside. This is a really unselfish Virginia Tech team that makes extra passes. So look at the little set in the screen for the big, two come out defensively, and that's where on defense you really have to communicate and talk so that somebody stays with Amoore.
Talk about the unselfish nature of Virginia Tech. That's something that Kenny Brooks talked to us about, saying he wants his team to play an aesthetically pleasing style when it comes to the game of basketball, as Horston hits the baseline jumper, because he said he believes that's the best way to grow the game as well.
It's fun to watch teams play that way, and I'll tell you, it's really fun to play that style as well.
Horston with her first field goal had missed her first 4 shots. And a foul here against Tennessee. Looks like it's going to be on Strickland, and it is.
Kitley working hard on the block, trying to post up, and Strickland has to get around. You see her hold right there because she doesn't have the size, so she can't just play behind.
Kitley rims out, Jackson the rebound, looking to push for Tennessee. Here's Rickea Jackson, held on after the high dribble.
And she kept her hand on top of it.
Oh, good hands. More defensive activity off the bench for Deasia Gregg, creating the steal for Virginia Tech. 4th turnover for Tennessee. Amoore sizing up Darby. Keeps the dribble alive. Amoore races in the paint and banks it in.
So we've seen Virginia Tech take advantage of the switch when the big has the little inside, and that time Amoore able to get around the bigger player.
Strickland too strong on a 3. Walker just snuck around to grab the rebound, and Horston cashes in.
Jordan Horston with a quiet start, but that has never affected her. She has been really good the last couple of possessions.
Currently projected to be the number 3 pick in this year's WNBA draft if she leaves.
Same switch.
Amoore again dances into the paint, knocked out of bounds by Darby, but at last hit Kitley, and it's Tennessee ball.
This is the previous possession. Georgia Amoore lost the dribble for a second, but able to get it going again, goes inside. But this last possession, Ryan, I thought she could do the same thing. A little too unselfish trying to get it to Kitley.
(22-18), Virginia Tech in front. Jackson, no. Amoore the rebound. Another impressive rebound for the diminutive guard. Amoore will fire. In and out on a 3. Kitley the rebound, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Elizabeth Kitley whistled for her 2nd personal.
She fought inside to be able to get the offensive board. Is her left elbow?
No, right elbow.
Right elbow.
Right in the face of Walker.
Man, that's a tough one because you're used to having bigs around you whose face isn't elbow height, and you can turn that way, but not when a guard is right there. Good defense.
It's like when you're fighting with me for snacks versus Carolyn Peck.
No one's going to win with a battle of Carolyn Peck.
Here's Amoore, catch, fire, and hit from 3.
Man, she is a competitor.
10 points for Amoore, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a lot of electricity. Jackson, great position and good chemistry. Horston and Jackson.
Once again, Kelly Harper does a great job of putting Rickea Jackson in an area of the floor where she has the advantage on the defender.
That's something Kelly Harper said they've really worked on throughout the season. Amoore short, just trying to put Jackson in positions to succeed. Said early on in the season, she was having her play 4 positions. They've honed in on how to get the most out of her. Again, an offensive board from Walker. Horston can't hit the straight-on jumper, and the long rebound out to King. Amoore has the last 7 Virginia Tech points. Here's Amoore, speeding into the paint, can't scoop it in. Jackson down. 4 on 5 for Tennessee while Rickea Jackson recovers. And Amoore comes back for the steal. Deasia Gregg a factor defensively again. Amoore thought about it, didn't take. Amoore picked up her dribble, needs some help, finds it in King. Off on a 3 and the box out for Walker.
There's been some good box outs in this game on both sides. Let's appreciate a good box out.
Yeah, there's been, you're right, some really solid box outs. Horston, no. Out of bounds to Virginia Tech.
Georgia Amoore in the second round game was 7 of 19 from 3. She is not shy, nor has she been shy here to start this one.
Holly?
Well, she gets her toughness from growing up playing Australian rules football. Look at this youngster out there, filthy, dirty. She said she played from 13 to 17. She really credits her athleticism and her footwork to that particular sport. And, you know, she said, I grew up in Ballarat, Australia. I knew I had to be tougher because I was always one of the smaller ones.
In the corner, Amoore unable to hit that 3. Also said it was an amazing moment for her when she saw the pictures of Lauren Jackson, Seattle Storm legend, Australian legend here at Climate Pledge Arena. Hollingshed can't finish, and the rebound to Gregg. How about the minutes Deasia Gregg has given Virginia Tech off the bench?
She's been really good, and it's important because she is a player who can defend on the wing. And right now, you look at Virginia Tech, this is a very small lineup with Kitley off the floor, small at the center spot.
Soule soars in and finishes.
Great length at the wing, small at the center spot. So if you're Tennessee, look to get Hollingshed involved.
Powell dips inside and banks it in. Was able to get a round trailer to finish. Tightly played first half for Virginia Tech and Tennessee. Tennessee trying to go to its first Elite 8 since 2016. It would be the 29th Elite 8 appearance overall. Amoore, not that time for Georgia Amoore. Now 2 of 8 from 3.
Mentioned it in the last round, she put up 17 threes.
Hollingshed can't finish, but that's what you're talking about.
Yes, go inside where you have the size advantage. There's a 6-foot defender on 6'5" Hollingshed.
And Jackson and Horston are both on the bench right now for Tennessee. They're 2 stars. That's deflected. Soule comes back to grab it. And that is going to be a foul on Tennessee. We'll step aside. Virginia Tech, a 5-point lead. Georgia Amoore, 7 of the last 9 for the Hokies.
Georgia Amoore is the heart and soul of this team. She's its toughness as well, getting inside, complementing her outside game.
All right, Holly. Well, coming up at halftime, we have the Degree halftime report. Elle Duncan, Monica McNutt, Nikki Fargas. They'll recap this first half with Tennessee and Virginia Tech. Plus, the bracket buster with UConn going down to Ohio State.
And if Elle Duncan doesn't make at least 2 puns, I will be very disappointed.
How good is Elle at her job, by the way?
Pretty great.
She is unbelievable. Trailer hits the 3. Kayana Trailer knocks in the wing triple.
And Holly, you mentioned Kelly Harper talking about her team's heart. I think there's also been a difference in nerves. I felt like at the beginning of this game, Tennessee looked a little nervous. And surprisingly, Virginia Tech, who hasn't really been in this moment before, did not look nervous at all.
Franklin looking for an angle and traveled before she put up the shot.
It is so endearing to me how you continually fix my microphone for me when it gets too far away from my mouth.
What are
Thank
you doing with it today? You keep knocking it down.
I move it when I take a sip of water, but thank you.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what's going on. Had to fix it more than normal. Happy to do it, by the way, but Amoore working around the screen from Greg. Gets it back to her. Trailer, not that time. Box out from Jackson, who was fouled from behind by King. And one thing we've seen in this first half, and probably why it's had a nice rhythm and pace despite the low scoring, is there haven't been that many fouls called.
Yeah, not too many free throws, not too many turnovers, dead ball turnovers.
Now, right now it's fine, but what happens is it goes down here, and then I have to do that.
You do that.
Yeah, that's what teammates are for.
That is true.
Glad everyone could see that you have to bundle up in here, too, because it is freezing in this arena. The Kraken make sure it's frigid. Horstin can't hit. For those who don't know, that's the NHL team that plays in this arena. (30-22), Virginia Tech in front.
I mean, look at this offensive possession. Switching sides of the floor, everybody touching it, everybody involved.
Amoore separates. Oh, that's pretty. Georgia Amoore off the window.
And even though it's an unassisted basket to finish it, everyone on Virginia Tech's team felt involved in that possession because of what preceded the drive.
A 10-point Virginia Tech lead. Largest of the game. Walker bounces it out of bounds, and it is Virginia Tech basketball.
Georgia Amoore, I mean, that's one way to see where you're going. You want to get lower and have the balance, and just a great job with her footwork. We're talking about that step back. It's not only on the three-point shot, Rye, it's on the drive as well.
It's like a violent dance move to create that space.
How are you dancing? Are you a violent dancer?
Well, I can't create space like that anymore. We're going to find out after the doubleheader we call. Here's Amoore. We'll let it fly. You bet! Georgia Amoore in all her glory, with a huge Australian contingent right behind Holly Rowe.
We've talked about Georgia Amoore's violent dance move, the step back left. We've seen her do it from the inside and now from the out. I'll have to ask her what the soundtrack is to that.
An 8-0 Virginia Tech run. They have a 13-point lead. A slight differential game in shot clock. You saw those fans representing Australia. Georgia Amoore talked about how she has a lot of family out on the West Coast that were going to make their way here. She said, no, a lot of Australians, they're out here. Amoore, back, forth, up, off the back iron. No, another chance here for Virginia Tech. Trailer flips it up, can't get it to go, and that's how the first half will end. Virginia Tech holds Tennessee to 22 points. Amoore scores 12 in the second quarter, and Kenny Brooks is a half away from the Elite Eight. An 8-0 run to finish the second quarter, and Amoore is with Holly.
Well, Georgia, you seem to be pulling the strings of what, when. How do you know when to keep everyone involved and when to start looking for your own?
Just reading the defense and what they're giving us. I think they use their length a lot, so we have to keep the ball moving. But if they don't play the screens right, then I'm going to shoot it.
This Tennessee defense is tall and long. How are you finding and creating space for yourself?
Just keeping with our offense. We thrive when the ball's moving, when our offense is flowing, so that's really helping.
I've not seen someone use their head on a thigh before to figure out where the defender is. Where's that move from?
Using my head.
Thank you.
Georgia Amoore, not only a star with the basketball in her hands, but with the mic in her face as well. Georgia Amoore from 3 as we head to El Duncan in the studio for halftime.
As Jordan Horston, she wants to come off of this ball screen and attack, but the defense is building a wall here on help side, not worried about the shooters, and no one on the outside attacks the glass. So Tennessee, what happens? They end up settling for a 3. There were multiple occasions where Tennessee settled for a jump shot instead of looking to get in the paint.
And Drea, they didn't need to worry about the shooters because Tennessee only 2 of 12 from 3 in the first half.
And that was something Drea highlighted at the start of the game. In the first matchup, that was such a big problem for Tennessee when they shot 2 of 14 from 3. Horston now 2 of 10 from the floor. Kelly Harper talks about with Jordan Horston, though, it's not the scoring the points as Kitley draws the foul on Strickland. It's checking the box on everything else when Horston is at her best. The assists, the steals, the rebounds.
And offensively for Virginia Tech, I love how many sets include a little big screen. Amoore setting a screen on Kitley's defender, because you certainly are going to be in trouble if you switch that screen.
Kitley didn't quite have position at last hit Strickland. Let's check back in with Drea.
Well, just another statistic. Rebecca, you were talking about the little on big screen leading to layups for Virginia Tech. In the first half, Virginia Tech, 35 field goal attempts, 16 of them were layups. Tennessee, on the other hand, only 8 layups attempted in that first half.
Yeah, a lot of good looks on the interior. Amoore, she got it. Georgia Amoore with 18. An 11-0 run extending back to the end of the second for Virginia Tech. Amoore has the last 8 points for the Hokies.
Fearless, a fair descriptive for Georgia Amoore?
I think it is. Jackson looking for some space, can't find it, whacked out. Amoore has it, could be fun. Amoore bounces, King gives it right back like a hot potato, and it ends up with a Kitley layup, plus the foul. Virginia Tech is humming.
What a great unselfish transition play as you see Liz Kitley's dad in the stands celebrating. Pass, one more. Fun basketball leading to an easy look for Kitley. Where, Andrea? In the paint.
Third foul on Strickland. And that right there was the 2,000th point of Elizabeth Kitley's decorated career. Hollingshed can't reverse it in. Kitley gobbles it up. Matchup with Ohio State Monday night on the line in this game. Kitley couldn't handle it. And Elizabeth Kitley's father here catching the action, Holly Rowe.
Well, Big Ralph, as they love to call him, was a player himself, knows a little bit something about basketball. But Liz Kitley told us something that I find very important. She said, when I came to Virginia Tech, my dad said, I surrender you to Coach Brooks. I trust him. What the coach says goes. And Coach Brooks has developed her into the best player in the ACC 2 straight years. I loved that the parent knew when to take his hands off the player and let the coach do what he's done.
My favorite moment of the season watching women's college basketball was when Liz Kitley hit the game winner against North Carolina. And it wasn't the game winner, it was her father's reaction in the stands, because anybody who is a parent who has watched their child play basketball or any sport at any level could understand the joy that he was feeling in that moment.
Like watching Maeve Rushin hit 2 huge threes in the third quarter of her state championship game in Connecticut. Nice deflection by Amoore. Soule gives it up. Amoore catches, separates, and airballs it out of bounds. All right, Rebecca, you wanted it. Here was the game winner against UNC.
Let me see it again. And not only the game winner, but just wait for it. Ralph Kitley's reaction was just amazing in that game. Look at that. That is just pure joy and pride from a father watching his daughter, and a man who knows basketball, played it himself. And back to Holly's story, you know, Liz said, he doesn't talk basketball to me, she said, and rarely does she ask for him to. And sometimes as a parent, you just take the lead. You know, what does your child need from you in those moments?
And she said sometimes when she's really struggled or really had a bad game, she'll be, please, Dad, give me something. And he'll just give her something generic like rebound better.
Yeah.
Hollingshed can't hit. And a timeout called by Virginia Tech on the rebound by Seoul. 7:14 to go in the third. Virginia Tech in control, looking to punch its first ever ticket to the Elite Eight.
There's enough Iowa fans here in Seattle that the sports bar near our hotel has the big Iowa flag hanging in the window.
Right. We're not sure that was always an Iowa sports bar.
No. I'm saying they're smart. They know there's enough fans here that to put the flag in and get them to come.
I was being sarcastic.
Okay.
But it really has been amazing to see. You walk the streets of Seattle, just how much Iowa gear you come across. It'll be a great atmosphere tomorrow night. Kitley swoops through, couldn't finish it. Seoul, another winning hustle type attempt, couldn't hang on to that one. And it's Tennessee basketball. Rebecca, how about Tennessee? How do they get back into this game?
Well, it starts with what you just saw, and that's getting a stop on the defensive end of the floor. And offensively, they just have to find some sort of a rhythm. They're better when they can get out and transition, and that's going to be from stops as well, because they've struggled in terms of moving the basketball around. And they only have 3 assists on the game so far,
compared to 9 turnovers.
A lot of standing around on this possession for Tennessee.
Powell can't lay it in. Rebound secured by Deasia Gregg, who had a really impactful first half off the bench for Virginia Tech. Here's Amoore. Seoul, quick first move. Couldn't lay it in. Jackson soars back for the rebound. Lakia Jackson, 7 points thus far, and she is the leading scorer for Tennessee. Wow. Bucket counts plus the foul as Amoore took the body and is whistled for the personal.
Nice job. Dribble penetration, attack the basket, get to the free throw line. That's another way, if you're Tennessee, that you can try to cut into this lead. Are you shaking your head, Mr. Ruka?
No, block charge always tough. Smart move by Walker after the initial contact to then almost use the basketball to create enough separation to lay it in. You could see it in that slow-mo shot. And now we have a tie-up. Possession arrow does belong to Virginia Tech. By the way, that free throw by Walker was the first made free throw of the game for either team.
That's why the game's been moving so quickly. And I like it by Tennessee. Pick up your defensive pressure. If you get places of the floor where you can double team Virginia Tech and try to get a turnover.
Kitley facing up and knocking down.
Really nice touch on her shot. She said coming out of high school, she was a back to the basket, drop step kind of player. And she said that's what her dad was as well. And Kenny Brooks has really helped her improve that face-up game.
Darby, no. Rebound, Gregg, and she traveled. As she was dishing it, she traveled before, and it's Tennessee basketball.
Remember, Liz Kitley is 6'6", so a little reverse pivot, and that's enough to give yourself space, because Hollingshed is a big defender. She's 6'5" and long as well, but the reverse pivot gets her there and then able to hit the face-up.
Kitley and Amoore were talking about how Kenny Brooks will send them different Instagram reels with similar footwork drills that they'll both work on inside and out.
Said sometimes they stick, sometimes they don't.
Kitley able to knock it away. Amoore has it for Virginia Tech. Amoore, no look, catch, fire, no for a trailer. And a loose ball foul is going to stay right here. More effort from Taylor Seoul. Those winning type plays. Virginia Tech a 15-point lead. 4:47 to go in the third quarter. Taylor Soule, the Boston College transfer. All roads lead to Dallas for the third straight year. Every NCAA Women's Basketball Championship game is on the family of networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. All games are on the ESPN network and the ESPN app.
Family of networks.
That's right. Well, Virginia Tech is on the brink of something they've never done. They have never gone to the Elite Eight. In fact, last time they made the Sweet 16, no player on their current roster was born. Gas was a delightful $1.02 per gallon, and Law & Order SVU, which you may have heard has had quite a nice run, just premiered. So yeah, it's been a while.
Undoubtedly, people were still complaining about the price of gas at the time.
Trailer with the left hand serves it up too hot. And at last hits Virginia Tech, Tennessee basketball. Rebecca, how about this? Tennessee has scored on consecutive shots once all game.
What a testament to Virginia Tech's defense.
Yeah, we focus so much on their rhythm offensively, but you're right, they have been terrific defensively in this game. Powell loses it out of bounds to Virginia Tech. Again, there to disrupt was Taylor Soule.
And Virginia Tech's been solid individually defensively in terms of not letting their player get by them, but also been very good with their help defense. Been strong getting to the defensive glass for much of the game. And here we see Tennessee extend some full court pressure. Be interesting to see how Virginia Tech handles this. And Tennessee has really good length in terms of Rickea Jackson and Jordan Horston. See if they can be disruptive with their full court D.
Amoore blasts through 4 defenders.
Something we did not see in the previous game.
Connecticut struggled immensely with Ohio State's press. Ohio State forced 25 UConn turnovers. Gregg dumps it in. Kitley, the patience. Jackson, the denial. Kitley couldn't get it to go, and Jackson comes away with it in his foul. Taylor Soule on the personal.
Really nice high-low pass into Kitley, and she just got a little bit off balance. Kenny Brooks talks about that's one of the origins of her fadeaway shot. He said sometimes she could be off balance in the post, so let's give you a move that lets that work in your favor.
Tennessee has been held to 27 points thus far, a 15-point Virginia Tech lead. Horston banks it in. Jordan Horston with her 3rd field goal of the game. There's the pressure from Tennessee. Broken easily by Amoore with the help of Trailer. Payana Trailer. Gregg, backdoor, Soule flips it up and off. Kitley whacks it, but right into the arms of Tennessee. A chance for the Lady Vols here to creep a little closer. Walker now gets it to Jackson. Rickea Jackson bounces in traffic. 12th turnover for Tennessee. Amoore bounces away. Kitley has 10, Amoore has 18. Amoore gets fouled by Horston.
Jordan Horston read that perfectly too. Thought she was going to get the steal.
Ohio State taking in the action. Headed to their first Elite Eight since 1993. UConn losing before the Elite Eight for the first time since 2005. And that young woman, freshman Cody McMahon, was terrific.
An absolute stud in that game.
You watch her, and she's just so obviously a future pro star.
Yeah.
And she's a freshman, and it's just, the game is so put together for her already as Amoore splashes in a jumper. Puckett. Bodies into Kitley. Puckett flips it in. Can Tennessee make a push here in the last couple minutes of the third? Amoore breaks the press. Amoore. Guarded by Jackson now. Over to Gregg, and Gregg nails the three.
And that's a killer because Tennessee's press slowed down Virginia Tech, but you can't let them finish the play with a made field goal.
And a whistle here against Virginia Tech. It's going to be on Kitley, and that will be her third.
The official just gave Kitley like the mom look. Don't play with me. And just here, great job reversing sides of the floor, hitting the three.
De'Asia Gregg shot it at 37.5% from three this season. Virginia Tech has a lot of options from three. Kitley will check out with the third foul. Amoore, you've seen her prowess from three. Kayla King, same thing. Traylor is capable. Gregg off the bench. A lot of good shooters surrounding the interior presence of Elizabeth Kitley.
The best gift you can give to a big player is to surround her by shooters. Makes double and triple teaming so much more difficult.
Tennessee brings in Brooklyn Miles, and a kickball is going to keep it here. Miles not necessarily a consistent part of the rotation for Tennessee, but getting a chance here, down 14 late in the third.
Get some rest for your players, a little extra rest going into the fourth quarter.
They put 1 second back on the clock there. Amoore gets fouled by Jackson. Virginia Tech's in the bonus, and Georgia Amoore is going to shoot two. Amoore with 20 points in this game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. We were talking before about how excited she was seeing Lauren Jackson's picture in this arena. Of course, the incredible star for the Seattle Storm and Australian and U.S. basketball legend. And then told us about, you see her jersey hanging here in the rafters, Leilani Mitchell being her favorite growing up because she was small, like Georgia. So I said, oh, do you wear number 5 for Leilani Mitchell, who's worn number 5 throughout her WNBA career? And she said, no, I wear number 5 because they gave it to me because I was the shortest player on the team.
It was the smallest jersey.
Yeah. Soule as it stripped, last hit Tennessee, going to stay here with Virginia Tech.
Ooh. Oh, she stripped it with her knee.
Yeah.
And foot.
The old kick save.
Not a foul, though. If you just get all ball, doesn't matter what part of your body you get the ball with.
That's right. How about the awesome images of that super slow-mo?
Pretty great.
Amoore, short, rebound, engulfed by Puckett.
Great job to get rid of it before the travel as well.
Could go 2 for 1 here. Horston lays it in, plus the foul. Jordan Horston a chance for 3.
It has felt like Virginia Tech has been in control this entire game, but this is still very much a game.
Yeah.
Jordan finds the camera after she hits the N1.
You have a chance to make it an 11-point game here. You could still go stop score before the end of the quarter.
Cut
Feel
it
a
to
whole lot
single
different.
digits,
Yeah.
yes.
Horston hits the free throw. 49-38, Virginia Tech in front. Amoore looking to navigate around the pressure and throws it away. Puckett on the steal. Walker through the lane, lays it in. Single digits it is. A 7-0 Tennessee run. Nearly another turnover, but now Amoore will calm things down for Virginia Tech with the shot clock turned off. Amoore has 22. Amoore off one leg, floats it up short. Still some time for Tennessee. Jackson the flick ahead. Horstin, no. And that'll do it for the third, but the Lady Vols with a little juice going into the fourth. Well, and of course, if Virginia Tech wins, they're going to face an incredible press from Ohio State that completely befuddled UConn earlier today in Seattle. Ohio State advancing to his first Elite Eight since 1993.
And you heard Kenny Brooks talk about fatigue. Virginia Tech, great move by Jordan Horstin. Virginia Tech has played 6 players in this game. That's it, 6.
Check in with Holly.
Listening into Kelly Harper in that last timeout for Tennessee, she said, we're playing downhill. Let's go downhill in the paint, attack the rim. Let's see what we've got. So coming right out of that, you saw Jordan Horstin go inside. And what does it do? Put her on the free throw line. Tennessee downhill is big right now.
And Holly, if she can put this second free throw in, it's the perfect way to get into your full court pressure.
Horstin does, and here comes the pressure. Tennessee has scored the game's last 8 points. Virginia Tech had an 18-point lead early in the third. Tennessee's outscored them 19-9 since.
Tough place to inbound the ball from, and you cannot run the baseline after the kick.
Trailer surveying, in some trouble. Gregg on the fake. Gregg gets it ahead. Kitley breaks it with a dish to Amoore.
But it didn't look comfortable, did it?
No.
All game, Virginia Tech looked comfortable until the last couple of minutes.
Shot clock all the way down to 6. Kitley a deep catch. The fade, no. And Puckett the rebound. Tennessee creeping closer. Horstin bounces. Jackson bangs, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Rickea Jackson. That'll be her 3rd personal.
Jackson's been really good when she's posted up and got the basketball, and Gregg does a great job. A little bit of an embellishment as she goes back. Certainly there's contact there, but made sure the official was going to blow the whistle. Yes.
You think about what Virginia Tech has, obviously with Amoore and Kitley as the pillars at the center of their success, but they have so many good role players around them. Two-way players, threats from 3. Gregg and Soule have made so many big plays thus far in this game for Virginia Tech.
Look at Horstin just pushing Kitley off of the block.
And yeah.
Eventually got called for it.
And that is going to be number 3 on Horstin. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship continues tonight on TBS. For more information on game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Fun time of year, isn't it?
One of the best.
March Madness it always lives up to the hype. All getting free is king, and she gets swallowed up by Horstin.
Great job by Jordan Horstin to keep her arms vertical, because she left her feet. If she had come down with her arms a little bit, it's a foul. Look at that. It's like a volleyball block.
Trailer able to lay it in. 9 points for Kayana Trailer. 10-point Virginia Tech lead. Jackson puts it on the deck, spins, and squeezes it in.
Great post move.
And a foul is going to go against Tennessee. And the fouls are piling up early in this 4th quarter for Tennessee. It's the 2nd foul on Walker, but it is already the 3rd team foul against the Lady Vols. There have not been many free throws in this game, but that might change here in this 4th. Oh, that's off the hands of Trailer, out of bounds. Kenny Brooks a little mystified at the misconnection there. And Virginia Tech now up to 11 turnovers.
Liz Kitley looked like she was open inside as well, but Amoore just didn't have the right angle to deliver it.
Horston spins, takes, and hits. Tennessee has made it a 6-point game. Traylor has it stolen. Walker on the steal and the lay. Timeout, Virginia Tech. It's a 4-point game.
Tennessee came alive at the end of the third quarter, exerting their full court pressure, getting steals. It has gotten them right back in this game.
As we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach Brooks called that timeout for Virginia Tech, and the players, before the coaches got into the huddle, were encouraging each other. Taylor Soule, hey, that's their run. Let's go. We're good. We're good. Players talking about how it's got to pick up on defense. That's where they have to start working harder and being patient. And then Coach Brooks got into the huddle, drew up some press break for this moment right here, and said, hey, lock in. We've got to lock in on the details.
Well, instead, they turn it over again against the press. Jackson snatches it away. Tennessee resets. Walker working on Amoore, lays it in over her. It is a 2-point game, a 16-2 Tennessee run. Amoore able to break the press that time.
One of the things that makes the press so difficult is 6'2" Rickea Jackson, 6'2" Jordan Horston, long, and they're the ones who are sending the initial trap.
Amoore around the Kitley screen, bounces to her. Kitley connects on a big bucket. Great two-player game there with Kitley and Amoore. Horston loses it, engulfed there by King. Soule gives it back to Traylor. Virginia Tech able to settle things down a moment. Facing up. Jumper won't go for Kitley. Weak side rebound to Jackson.
Don't give her the ball there. Push her into the post. She had a guard on her.
Cross court feed. Powell will fire and hit from 3. Jasmine Powell makes it a 1-point game.
Prior to that shot, Tennessee was 2 of 14 from the 3-point line.
Which is what they shot in the last meeting. That layup is good, plus the foul. Huge bucket for Kayana Traylor.
Great skip pass over to Powell, who's wide open in the corner, hits the 3, and Traylor's made some tough moves. You see her drawing and getting the and-one opportunity.
Traylor, first free throw of the game is good. She has 12 points. Kitley with 12, Amoore with 22. 13 from Horston, 11 from Walker, 11 from Jackson for Tennessee. And Kelly Harper's going to take a timeout. Virginia Tech had an 18-point lead in the third. Tennessee cut it to 1 moments ago. Currently a 4-point Hokies lead with 5:52 to go in the fourth quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. And what we have seen from Tennessee is what we saw from Ohio State against UConn. It's pressure D. Taking a look at our Capital One rewarding performance.
Yeah, from midway through the third quarter, Tennessee started applying full court pressure, and why they are so good in it is they have length up top. They have quickness up top. They have been able to cause turnovers that has led to buckets the other way. Creating offense from their defense, of course, here. So important for them to score, not only to cut into this lead, but scoring allows them to then set up in the pressure.
You see the run from Tennessee. Virginia Tech 3 of 11 with 3 turnovers against that press. Puckett looking into Jackson. Will fire instead. Missed it right and long. Saved by Powell. Right to Amoore, off and running. Here comes Amoore. Amoore lost the handle, it looked like, and it's out of bounds to Tennessee. George Amoore saying, "Ooh, slipped out of my hands."
Surprised by the shot by Puckett. She wasn't wide open. I thought they could get a better look than that on the last possession, especially coming out of a timeout.
It's always interesting in these moments as well, right? Who has the poise within a possession to operate your offense, to take good shots. As Tennessee turns it over. 6 turnover now for Horston. So Penny Brooks, a finalist for the Werner Ladder Naismith Coach of the Year Award. Trailer gives it up, gets it back. Now has it taken away, Walker, and it's going to be a tie-up. Virginia Tech has possession arrow.
Yeah, Georgia Amoore in the right corner during that possession, and I think she's going to really have to handle the basketball a lot these last 5 minutes against Tennessee's active pressure.
How about Jordan Walker and the impact she has made defensively in this second half?
Really good. She has been really good. Her quickness has been an advantage for Tennessee defensively.
Holly?
Well, Jordan Walker showing some grit and toughness here down the stretch for Tennessee. We asked Kelly Harper about her. She said she might not be the quickest or the biggest, but I'll take 5 of her every day of the week.
Yeah, and here flags down the rebound. Gritty, tough. Oh, Amoore comes back for the interception. 4-point Virginia Tech lead. Soule looking inside at Kitley. Instead it goes to the corner. Trailer, 10 to shoot. Back around to Amoore with 7 to shoot. Amoore looking to create. Trailer to the corner, catch and fire 3. No good, but a foul. And King is going to shoot 3 free throws on the 4th personal from Jordan Horston.
Outstanding job by Virginia Tech on that possession to make the one more pass, because the wing was open for a 3, but she knew that the corner was even more open. It's something that Virginia Tech works on.
So Kayla King is going to shoot 3 free throws. After the 4th personal on Horston, she's 0 for 2 so far today. Hits the first. Let's take another look at the foul, Rebecca.
One pass, and here's the and one. The arm at the end.
In her landing space as well, it seemed. King hits the second. And hits all of them. Tennessee had closed to 53-52, but Virginia Tech has now scored 6 straight. It's a 7-point lead for the Hokies. Trying to head to the Elite 8 for the first time in program history. Horston dumps it down. Great position there from Jackson, but she draws the foul on Soule.
Jackson in the post, posting up strong, doesn't get it from the right side wing, and instead of giving up, just continues to hold the seal until Jordan Horston can try to get it inside to her.
Jackson fading away, can't get it to go. Another impressive rebound from Amoore. She bursts out of the pack, and now will peel back out. Amoore at 5'6" has had some noteworthy rebounds in this game. 6 rebounds in total now. Here's Trailer with some space. Trailer banks it in. How about this game from Kayana Trailer? Up to 14 points. An 8-0 Virginia Tech run as Powell gets fouled.
We've seen this a couple times from Kayana Trailer, just driving left, getting inside. We saw her get an and one opportunity once. That time a little bit of a floater to finish. She is a player who shows serious toughness out there.
The senior, transferred from Purdue. Another one of those perfect accessory pieces around the games of Amoore and Kitley. And she has come up with some really clutch plays in this second half.
Kenny Brooks saying, we know it's a transfer that's the right fit for us, when they say, what can I do to help this team win?
Yeah. Said Trailer sent him the longest text he's ever gotten before she made her decision to transfer. He didn't know whether or not she was going to come or not. And he's scrolling through the text looking for key words. finally got to the punchline that she was coming. Said he's never been more nervous rolling down his phone, trying to figure out what the result was going to be.
Why didn't he just read the thing? Why did he have to skip to the end?
It's a good question. Should Virginia Tech advance and you're still lurking?
I'll ask him.
We'll ask him that question.
If I'm still lurking.
Amoore hits the first free throw.
Guys, it was because the text was so long. It was pages and pages and pages. Don't judge, Coach. It was a very emotional, wonderful text from Kenyatta.
I think once he got to the part that's when she said she was coming, he probably went back and then
reread it
the whole
afterwards.
thing.
It's like when you can't watch the game live, you tape it, your team wins, now you go back and watch.
Yes. Good analogy.
9-point lead for Virginia Tech. Amoore hits both. 10-2 Virginia Tech run. Still plenty of time for Tennessee. Jackson, they could use it. They don't have it. In and out. Amoore battling with Horston, and it last hit Amoore. Tennessee ball.
Great activity by Jordan Horston. As soon as the ball left Jackson's hand, she was attacking the offensive glass. She's been competing very, very hard today.
Horston flips it up, gets fouled, and Jordan Horston is going to shoot two. Nine-point Virginia Tech lead. Fourth foul on Kayla King. Horston 2 of 3 from the line today and hits the first. Tennessee was down 18 early in the third. Didn't really find a rhythm until very late in the third, and then carried it over to the beginning of the fourth, cut this game to 1, but Virginia Tech has responded.
And we'll see if Tennessee can be disruptive. Smart substitution. That gives your team a little bit extra time to get set in your full court press.
Brooklyn Miles back in for Tennessee. Trailer bounces. Soul gets it off to Amoore. Amoore dashes across the timeline and gets fouled. Virginia Tech in the bonus, so more free throws for Georgia Amoore, who's 4 of 4 from the line in this game. The MVP of the ACC tournament has her 13th straight game with multiple made threes, as Greg will check in.
Both teams going with offensive, defensive substitutions.
We're talking about the connection to the Australian Seattle players and WNBA players for Amoore. Another one who plays here in Seattle, Ezzie McMagor, and Georgia said she sat in Ezzie's locker and took a picture and said, "I need good luck from you here," and sent it off to Ezzie. 9-point game on the steal. It is Soul. Amoore with 26 points. Virginia Tech is taking control back. Amoore thought about letting it rip, did not. Kitley faces up. Knocked out of bounds off of Tennessee. 7 to shoot for Virginia Tech. And Jackson thought it might have last hit the leg of Kitley.
Born out under 2 minutes, so it's not going to be reviewed.
Amoore gets it into Kitley. Face-up jumper, no. Rebound, Soul able to snare it. And Virginia Tech can run a little more clock. Amoore. Nifty handle. Amoore will fire and hit. A career high 28 points for Georgia Amoore.
Georgia Amoore has been so good offensively in this game. This time going to her right off of the on-ball screen by Kitley.
And a foul away from the ball as well. Underneath, Soul got knocked by, I think it was Puckett. And so now Soul goes to the line after the jumper, which counts from Amoore. So really tough to stomach possession for Tennessee at this juncture.
Give a look at the far right of your screen, boxing out, arms get tangled.
I think, looking at the initial angle on the made shot, I think she
hip checked her? Okay.
Yes.
Was it a violent dance move?
Very reminiscent of a violent dance move. So hits the free throw. And Amoore, a new career high, 28 points. Anybody who's watched Virginia Tech throughout the season knows what a star Georgia Amoore is. But if you're just seeing her for the first time, she certainly has opened eyes.
And even if you know what type of player she is, it's still different on this stage.
Yeah. Walker gets fouled and will go to the line.
And Amoore has been outstanding since the postseason started. Was incredible, as you mentioned, the MVP of the ACC tournament, has been really good in the NCAA tournament so far. This is a Virginia Tech team with a lot of experience. Maybe not experience in this moment, but a lot of experience overall.
For Tennessee, still time. 2 minutes to go, down by 12. Big free throws here for Walker. And she misses the first. Tennessee had cut it to 1 with 6:10 to go, but Virginia Tech has outscored the Lady Vols 15-4 since. Second free throw good. The deflection and the steal. Walker got denied, and a timeout is called by Tennessee. It will remain with the Lady Vols. 1:49 to go in this fourth quarter. Georgia Amoore has had a monster night, and she got a special message from a fellow Australian.
Hey Georgia, I just wanted to say congrats on making it to the Sweet 16. It's been so fun watching your game and seeing you progress this season. I'm a huge fan, so good luck today and for the rest of the tournament.
How about Georgia Amoore setting the tone with her fearlessness from the start of this game, handling the basketball, getting her team into what they need to run on the offensive end. Terrific defensively. She has just played with the type of composure that you need in this moment, and then the cherry on top for Virginia Tech is the way she has been able to score the basketball. 28 points so far in this game.
And a junior who figures to be a major factor in the ACC next season. Take a look at our game summary. Virginia Tech has not trailed. Horston, Walker, and Jackson combining for 38 points for Tennessee. Horston can't bank it in, got it back, had it stripped. And Virginia Tech controls with under 1:40 to go. Amoore gets fouled, and Georgia Amoore is going right back to the line after Rakia Jackson's fourth personal. We have not felt the full effect of Rakia Jackson in this game. Just 11 points.
The Virginia Tech players may say, no, we have. But no, you're right. Rakia Jackson, a player who is very capable of just scoring in bunches. Averages 19 points per game, has been a little quiet on the offensive end tonight.
That's 16 games with 20 plus, only Angel Reese with more as far as SEC players go. Amoore finally misses a free throw, had been 6 for 6.
Tell you what, if Virginia Tech is able to pull this game out, I think they're going to spend a lot of time in practice tomorrow working on breaking the press.
Yeah. Ohio State awaits them with their incredible press that completely threw UConn out of sorts. There have only ever been 2 instances without UConn or Tennessee in the Elite Eight. 1985 and 1992. And barring a miraculous comeback here for Tennessee, you're going to be able to add 2023 to the list.
I would be really impressed if on that graphic they told us how much gas cost in 85 and 92.
I'm sure that note is coming.
I mean,
that's how good our research department is.
It's remarkable, and it falls in line with a couple of #1 seeds losing on their home floor in the first weekend in Indiana and Stanford. Just the parity that we're seeing more now in women's college basketball.
Right. All of these things signals to you of the growth of the game?
Without question, yes. And it's interesting because we have parallel paths, right? We still have the undefeated South Carolina team, the overwhelming favorite, and then along a parallel track is the parity that we're seeing.
Yeah. Kitley has it yanked away, and it's going to be a tie-up, and Tennessee has possession. So it will be Lady Vols basketball.
And anytime there's a dead ball, Kelly Harper can go with her offensive defensive subs because she wants Horston in there offensively, needs her out defensively because she has 4 fouls, and they're going to be in the pressure situation where they're trying to press and get turnovers. But now has her offensive unit on the floor.
Here's Jackson, off to Horston. Tennessee has to move with haste. Taking a long time here. Jackson lays it in. 10-point game, 1:15 to go. Tennessee is going to need to wreak havoc with this press. Soule, grabbing at the back of her left calf. Was dealing with that earlier, and off the steal, Jackson lays it in. Is Virginia Tech going to have to spend a timeout to get Soule out of the game? Into Amoore. Amoore able to break the press. Soule is down in the backcourt. Amoore fending off Tennessee. Knocked away, loose. Amoore gets it back. Still dribbling around, wasting clock. King will shoot it and hit. Ill-advised from King, but effective and a dagger.
Based on Kenny Brooks' expression afterwards, it may have been well-advised.
Horston hits the jumper, and Tennessee will spend a timeout. Ooh. Oh, wow. Walker swings with the right. And then shoves and looks like even hits the face with the left.
And
wow.
Virginia Tech coach is clearly unaware, or else they would ask the officials to go to the monitor to look for the unobserved foul.
Yeah, I mean, that clearly, that could have been an ejection.
It certainly should have been something.
Yeah. 9-point Virginia Tech lead.
And now Greg is out of the game, so you have to have Liz Kitley in, even though at this moment what you need more than anything is ball handling.
So you've had Greg and Soule both look like they've cramped up at different times here. Knocked back into the arms of Soule. Soule loses it. It's taken away by Tennessee. Still some hope here. Miles underneath, layup no good. Soule comes up with a rebound, gets tripped and kicked. And it is going to be a foul against Tennessee. Looked like initially Soule might have gotten away with extra contact on the loose ball. But now free throws for Virginia Tech.
She's boxing out like crazy here, and yeah, you see with the left arm extends it a bit.
Rebecca, you are 100% right. Virginia Tech is going to spend, you would think, most of tomorrow preparing to break that Ohio State press, because Tennessee has been able to wreak some havoc with theirs.
They have to spend a ton of time resting because they played 6 players. And then whatever time they're not spending off of their feet, when they're on their feet, they better be breaking the press.
Soule hits the first. Just 17 seconds remaining. Soule misses. Tennessee rebounds. It is all cosmetic at this point. 8 seconds to go. That's going to be a blocking foul against Virginia Tech.
I tell you what, man, Taylor Soule is tough.
Yeah.
She is one tough basketball player.
6.1 seconds remaining in this fourth. Tennessee had trailed by 18 in the third, cut it to 1 midway through the fourth, but Virginia Tech poised, effective, able to stave off Tennessee down the stretch.
One thing Tennessee had done all season long, in particular the latter stretch of the season, Ryan, is compete and compete to the end. We saw it in the SEC championship game against South Carolina as well. This team fights.
And so there will be no Elite Eight trip for Tennessee after a second straight trip to the Sweet 16. And Kenny Brooks is going to take one final timeout here, leading by 9 with 6.1 to go in the fourth. The Virginia Tech faithful behind their bench, ready to celebrate. More basketball to be played for this 1 seed.
I've got a third thing that they're going to do tomorrow. Hydrate. Get rid of these cramps. Multiple players with cramps.
A lot of cramps for Virginia Tech. Our bracket in the Elite Eight is now set, Rebecca. South Carolina, Maryland, and Virginia Tech, Ohio State on Monday. Tomorrow, it'll be LSU, Miami at 7 Eastern on ESPN, and then Caitlin Clark in Iowa taking on Haley Van Lith and Louisville here in Seattle as we head to Drea.
Well, you mentioned Caitlin Clark against Haley Van Lith, but how about Georgia Amoore against JC Sheldon?
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one as well.
Big time guard matchup. That'll happen Monday night.
Can we get some post love in there? Kitley, McMahon. Let's get a
pretty
little
good
post
too.
love.
That's pretty good too. 6.1 to go. Inbound to Trailer, and for the very first time in program history, Virginia Tech is headed to the Elite Eight. The Hokies take down Tennessee, 73-64 the final. .29 from Georgia Amoore, a career high. And her star will only get brighter as the Hokies move deeper in this tournament.